Is the royal family a waste of money? Should the monarchy still exist? Prince Harry and Meghan created waves worldwide by spilling the beans on the inside dynamics of Britain's coveted royal family. But what appealed to us the most was the financial aspect of Megxit. Prince Harry told host Oprah Winfrey that his main concern was to get enough money and security to keep his family safe. That must have been a huge setback for the Sussexes. After all, the Queen's wealth is estimated to be a whopping £350 million to £486 million, and the royals' family total assets are worth many, many times more. So then why is there a debate on whether the monarchy should exist? Are we, the taxpayers, responsible for the survival of the monarchy? And most importantly, is it all worth it? The monarchs travel in first class, enjoy a lavish lifestyle, vacation at the world's most desirable destinations, and have all the luxuries in the world. But at whose expense? Well, today, we'll find out. Enjoying the video? Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks! The monarchy is officially the head of state in Great Britain, so they technically own the Crown Estate, a $17 billion property portfolio. They own an assortment of assets and land, including the Ascot Racecourse, a massive chunk of central London, and about half of the coastal land between the high and low tide marks in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, called the Foreshore. So this means the royals must not find it challenging to manage their finances. They're all sorted, right? Well, that's not true, because the Crown Estate is run independently. The £345 million profits earned from it directly go to the government. Although returned to the royals under the civil list, some of the money is around £13.7 million. A major chunk of this money is used to pay for the staff who manages the royal household. The monarchs also received grants in aid back in 2011, which covered their communications, palace upkeep, and traveling expenses. The aid amounted to £18.4 million, out of which £6 million was for travel, £11.9 million was for property, and $500,000 was for communications. In 2012, this funding was replaced by the Sovereign Grant, which was a single payment system set at 25% of the Crown Estate's annual profits. In 2016 to 2017, the monarchs received $42.8 million in the Sovereign Grant, and in 2017 to 2018, this was increased to a staggering £76 million. Wondering why? Well, Buckingham Palace needs refurbishment. It'll be a decade-long process that will cost anywhere from £369 million to £468 million in total. So the monarchs will receive even higher funding in the upcoming years. However, the money granted to the royals under the Sovereign Grant will be reverted to 15% in 2027, as it is reviewed every 5 years. You see, the monarchy manages its finances year-round, which is run by government funding. Obviously, it's taken from us in the form of taxes. But if we say that all of this goes to fund their extravagant lifestyle, that would be unfair, because this money funds their official duties, such as chairing charities, opening buildings, hosting garden parties for foreign dignitaries or heads of state, and traveling inside and outside the country, and even more. Let's not forget that the Queen, Prince Charles, and other royal family members receive private incomes from their privately owned estates and financial assets. The Privy Purse is the name given to the sum of money that goes to the Queen as revenue from a landed estate called the Duchy of Lancaster, which was approximately £19.1 million back in 2016. So, will it be a difficult year ahead for the royals? The world was drastically hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, bringing forth a sudden and unexpected economic crisis. The royal family also had to bear the brunt of the rapidly shifting domestic economic scenario, and is gearing up for a belt-tightening decade ahead. According to the Queen's chief finance officer, Sir Michael Stevens, officially known as the Keeper of the Privy Purse, the royal balance sheet potentially faces a $45 million shortfall, given the fact that the cost of the pandemic and the decline in tourism has taken a toll on royal spending. That's understandable, because visitors to royal landmark sites like Windsor Castle were significantly reduced in the past year, which means for the next 3 years, there will be a significant reduction in royal income. At least £5 to £6.3 million in reductions are expected. This means that the total estimated income shortfall will be around £35 to £44.5 million. Does this mean the royals will need more money in the coming year? Will this affect the taxpayer? How much does the royal family cost the taxpayer? Pro-royals claim that, on average, the cost of sustaining the monarchy is around £1.24 a year per person in the UK. This is a gross miscalculation case, because it doesn't include the security costs involved in looking after the royals, which was £70 million in 2018. According to Republican pressure groups, the UK's security costs so much that it has pushed the monarchy's actual annual public cost to around £350 million. Enjoying the video? Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks! The income required to supplement the sovereign grant jumped to £20.2 million to £25.7 million in 2019 to 2020, putting the approximate total official expenditure under the sovereign grant at a staggering £69.4 million to £88.5 million, which is higher than the previous year. This, however, did include the additional £21.2 to £27 million the government will be spending on the Buckingham Palace renovation as part of the 10-year project. So, are these costs justified? Royalists believe that the costs are totally justified on the grounds of the value to the economy that the royals bring in. From a neutral perspective, the monarchy's value to the British economy is nothing but a smartly designed PR process to save an institution in crisis. The reality is that British taxpayers lose around $468 million annually, only to have a head of state. Even the state's head isn't an independent figure, but more like a symbolic representation of British pride and exclusivity. To help the state's non-political head hold the position, British taxpayers have to churn out money from their pockets. After all, the Queen of England is one of the most expensive non-political heads of state globally, and the cost of funding her is 12 times more than Ireland's elected head of state. So, in reality, the British royals represent an investment that the British have made. But, should the royals be allowed to spend taxpayers' money without any checks and balances? Because, compared to running the office of the head of state, it is more expensive to maintain the British royalty as they spend tens of millions of pounds on their security, palatial apartments, and luxury vacations. From this perspective, a monarchy's existence feels more like a bane than a blessing. But, there is a flip side to this argument which we shouldn't ignore. Although people have been pretty vocal about the monarchy's insignificance and irrelevance from a political angle, we cannot disagree that the royals significantly boost the UK economy. England will need their help and support to strengthen its economy after the much talked about Brexit. There's little doubt that the British monarchy and wider family bring a lot of money into the country's economy through tourism and just being the face of Britain, and it's a very presentable face indeed. It's true that they take fancy holidays, travel first class, spend a vast amount of taxpayers' hard-earned money on maintaining their extravagant lifestyle, and cost comparatively more than other royal families in the world, but they do bring in more than what's spent on them. Enjoying the video? Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks! In 2018 to 2019, the royals brought in £430 million, more than their overall cost for the year, leaving many other royals, including the Belgian and Spanish royal families, lagging way behind. In 2018, British royals raked in £595 million through merchandise, tourism, and arts, with their annual cost probably around £165 million. This makes them at least 18 times more profitable for Britain than the Belgian royals. Compared with Spanish royals, they are an outstanding 29 times more profitable. In the past 5 years, British royals contributed around $2.8 billion to the UK economy, the Crown Estate being their primary money earner, as it brought in £329 million into the Treasury in 2019. Moreover, all those Britons and tourists visiting Buckingham Palace or the Queen's Gallery raked in approximately £41 million, while the UK economy received an additional 18 million in royal merchandise sales. But we cannot claim that tourism is the top earner, only because media deals bring in even more money. If the idea is royalty related, such as the smash hits on Netflix's The Crown or ITV's Victoria, or even royal documentaries, that draws in around £51 million. In the past 5 years, the royals helped the UK government broker trade deals and business deals worth £2.8 billion, and that's no ordinary feat to accomplish. So, there may not be many perks associated with spending 23 times more on British royals than the Spanish royalty, but at least there are a few. The bottom line is that as long as the royals bring in more money than they cost the UK, their existence matters. This is strictly from an economic perspective. We haven't even dived into the socio-economic, cultural, and other aspects of British royals' relevance in a contemporary democratic era. From an economic aspect, the monarchy holds value. They serve as an added attraction given the rich history of the British monarchy. The many landmark sites will hold no value to a visitor if the monarchy didn't exist, which would affect UK tourism tremendously. There's a certain aura of mysticism, fantasy, and legend surrounding the monarchy, which is why it is relevant in the UK's economy to this day. But what are your thoughts on the British royal family? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.